we can have the rest of the day to ourselves. It is Tuesday. Just like, yesterday was rough. Today is getting better. But today, it's a short chapter. Did you guys get through the reading for chapter 9?
Yeah, I think I only missed maybe about the last couple of pages, but I went through the review questions and everything.
Okay, good. Now, chapter 9.
Trying to follow. Go ahead.
No, you're talking about. Go ahead.
Oh no, that I think there's a slight pause or something, so then we end up. No, I was just saying that reading this chapter was a little bit of a challenge because I really cannot read the graphs.
Exactly. And today.
And trying to follow, and there's a whole bunch of it in this.
Exactly.
Chapter,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very hard for me to follow.
Exactly.
I'll get it once I see how when you navigate on the screen. I think I'll be able to.
It'll be a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just strictly reading, I had a hard time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
I had to use my magnifying glass. 'Cause it's the same way, and then sometimes I can't even see it that well with that. But I did. I have it. My trusty magnifying glass by me, and that helps.
So, yes. So, chapter 9 is a difficult read. There is a lot of charts and graphs that you have to look at because ultimately we're going to be, again, utilizing the same things that we've learned before. And this time we're going to be billing, sending invoices out, creating more items. So, in this chapter, right, it is a hard read because some of these concepts don't apply too much. The only thing that really applies is when we track time. Okay, especially for our employees, right? It's the perfect example to how to track time, especially when we have employees that are on a wage or an hourly rate. Filling in a timesheet is important. Now, that's like probably the most important thing that I can think of coming away from this chapter. Now, thinking about billable expenses, or when we talk about those kind of these, it's a little difficult to understand. Reason being is because not all of it will apply to you unless you meet these certain criterias. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you because you are subject to be tested on this kind of material. Not too in-depthly, especially chapter 9, because again, it really depends on your company, whether you even have these independent contractors, whether you need to create these extra expenses for those reasons. But the only thing I really want you to actually truly take away from this is pretty much the timesheet. Because we're going to be looking into that when we dive into chapter 10 and 11, because chapter 10 and 11 is going to be dealing with our employees. We're going to be looking at how to set up the payroll and then chapter 11 is going to be how we pay our employees and how to calculate and take away all of their withholdings and whatnot. But in this case, let's go ahead and look at chapter 9. So here we have reimbursable or billable expenses. And we're going to be looking at using two-sided items. We're going to be looking at billable time and how to track owners and partners' time. Now, this right here, I'm going to have you guys read on your own because whether it's pertinent to you or not for this kind of business, it pretty much is the same as just tracking your time as an employee, whatever it is. But I will talk a little bit about it. And there's only one report that is actually there. Okay? So let's go ahead and dive right into what billable or reimbursable expenses are dealing with. So as we come here and we read along this thing, so the only accounts that can be considered reimbursable or even billable as an expense is going to be, well, obviously your expenses, your cost of goods sold, right? That's an expense, and other current assets. Okay, so again, reimbursable slash billable expenses, right, is only going to be affected by these 4 accounts. Okay, so other current assets, cost of goods sold, expenses, and other expenses. You absolutely cannot use billable expenses for an income account. So anything that has to do with sales or anything like that, you cannot use it. All right. So here, let's go ahead and take our first example here. We're going to go ahead and write a check to, now this is going to be really difficult to read. So we're going to be writing a check to, I believe it says Miranda's Corner, or it says
It's Miranda's Corner.
Miranda's Corner. Okay. So here we're going to be charging Miranda's Corner. Okay. And this one is going to be for a delivery, for a document delivery fee. Okay. So here we're going to charge them as an expense, and it's going to be in reimbursable expenses, and we're charging this company $20. Now Miranda's Corner is I believe they are a delivery service. So let's go ahead and create that check and see what happens. Okay. So here, how do I write a check?
You go into, write a check, it's interbill and then write a check. On the
Go to
side,
write
yeah,
check.
right, yeah.
Write checks.
Right.
Where else can you write a check? Where else can you write a check?
You go to banking on the menu.
I think I'm on the wrong one. Banking. Here you go. Write a check. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and write a check for Miranda's Corner. So here I press write a check, and here it appears. And we're doing Miranda's Corner. Oh, well, actually, first we got to figure out which account we're going to be taking out of, and we're taking out of our checking account. All right. Now, who is the person that we're writing the check to is going to be Miranda's Corner.
Yes.
Okay. And then here, let's go ahead and confirm the rest of the information. So I'm going to be charging $20 for a document delivery. Okay. Let's look at the date. Okay. So we're supposed to be writing a check number 332. The date it says here is February 3rd. I'm going to make it more current. And it's for $20. Okay. So let's go ahead and fill that information in. So what I mean by relevant is, let's say this happened on August 3rd, okay, instead of February. So it's this year. Now, you can either change the number here or just enter it through here. It's going to collect it up here at the top. Now, make sure that you're on expenses and not items tab. You're under expense tab, okay? The account that we're going to be using is called the reimbursable expenses. So, again, Miranda's Corner is going to be a delivery service for us. And, yes, so for the amount, you can write $20. And what happens is it's going to automatically fill this part in automatically. And then it says here, memo, this random numbers. We can go ahead and clear that out and make sure that we write document delivery. Okay. $20. And then if you notice, I'm going to go all the way to the right side. You see this little billable, this little bill. There you go. Trying to expand as big as I can. So you're going to see this little option right here that says billable. And when you hover your mouse over it, you should see this check mark apply. Now it's going to say, is this something that we're going to be, that's billable? And I'm going to say, yes, it is. Oop. I put that under custody. Oh, there you go. Good. There you go. There you go. Come on. Okay, it's not letting me check mark it. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Do I need? I don't think I need a customer. Do I? Let's see. Yeah. The customer is Miranda's Corner.
Connor?
Okay, so it's supposed to be express delivery services for Miranda's Corner billable, and it's for Walnut Creek. Okay, so not this is Miranda Corner. We're not billing. We're not writing a bill to them. We're writing it to delivery services, express delivery service. Okay, so we use express delivery services to charge, and we're going to put it actually on Miranda's Corner's account. Okay, and here we selected it's billable. Okay, so make sure you select that it's billable, and it is for the Walnut Creek location. All right. Once we verify that $20 is there for the documentation delivery, okay, and we verify everything else, we can go ahead and click save and close. All right. Now we just wrote a check out to the delivery service, right? Because we need to pay them in advance. However, because it was for specifically one of our clients, this is where we're going to bill our client to cover that fee. And how we're going to do that is we're going to be creating an invoice. All right. Okay. Come on. And we're actually going to be billing Miranda's Corner. Okay. And then here it's going to get a window saying, hey, you, this customer or job that you selected has an outstanding billable balance. Okay. And it's going to give you options. Do you want to select the outstanding billable or do you want to exclude it? Okay. And I'm going to say I want to include it. And then save this as a preference. Okay. Now, once I do that, here it pops up this little window that shows me that I have this expense, right? Here it is, expense, and I'm going to select it. Okay, and once I select it, I'm going to click, I'm going to go to the bottom here. I'm going to click OK, and what's going to happen is it's going to automatically fill in our invoice that this person is going to be charged for it. Now it says here we need to create a maximum amount of what we're going to be charging them for, or what kind of markup value we call it. Okay, so let's go ahead and confirm with the book on how much are we going to actually mark up this client for. And in this case, it says here we have the expense, and we're going to mark up, ooh, this is so difficult to read. I have $0 for the markup value. And then we have the expense for $20. Okay. Check the, okay. All right. Once you have returned to the invoice, okay, so to go back here, let me see. If an expense appears that you don't need to bill for, okay, billable column. All right. I cannot see anything that this says. So here we know that we're in the expenses, right? It says that we're not going to mark them up, but we're the original price that we're going to be charging them is $20. What does that even say? Markup account is going to be expense. I have no idea what that last word is. But let's see. Okay, so we don't have an account for it. So let's see. What an account is it? I can't even read that. Does it say re? It says. It says expense. Okay, so let me type it in and see if I'll be able to expense markup. So, yes.
Expense delivery service, you're talking about, oh no, you're looking at a different sheet than I am.
I think it's expense markup. If you keep reading, I need to select an account on where this account is going to be located in. And it looks like it's supposed to say expense markup because...
Yeah, it does. It's got expense and then MA and then dot after it.
So expense markup. So here I made sure that this $20, right? Or this, is it 20%? Are we going to charge 20%? Or are we going to charge $20? It says here we are going to charge 20%. Wow. For that delivery charge. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and verify that this is the proper billing person and that this is correct. And then I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now, once I've done that, it populates this as part of the invoice. So that means whatever they purchase from us, they're going to get charged an additional $24. Okay, for the additional markup value. So in this case, because they wanted a document delivery, right? So we're gonna bill them for $24. Let's see, is that it? Yes, we're gonna bill them for $24, and then we're gonna go ahead, select, and click OK. So this is us. This is us charging our customer, right? Not only are they covering the cost for them to have a document delivered, we can have the ability to charge them a little additional markup value for it. In our case, we did 20%. 20% of $20 is going to be $24. So $4 in total. And in this case, we are making sure that this customer, so Miranda's Corner, we're making sure that we charge them $20 plus a little extra for us having to pay for the delivery charge itself. So in this case, we're covering our grounds and we get a little profit out of it. And I'm going to make sure that this was done, I'm going to say on the 3rd, because that's when the delivery was sent out for. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and click select and close. Now, did you see what happened? Do you guys understand what happened here?
Well, we're billing Miranda's Corner for an expense that we have to pay
Exactly.
for that delivery.
So this extra markup value is basically a convenience charge, right? They're telling us, oh, I want this to be delivered to me. I don't care. I'll pay whatever it is. And since we had to pay in advance, we're going to charge them that extra 20% for convenience charge. And you're going to see this happen in a lot of companies. And then you guys actually can do that. It is legal for you to, if a customer is asking you for a specific service and it requires you to have to make an extra cost for it, you want to make sure that you charge them a convenience fee for having to go out of our way to provide the service for this customer. So this extra $4 is basically if in terms of looking at as a convenience charge. Okay, now you can charge whatever amount that you want. In this case, in the book, it says that we want to charge them 20%, which is a lot. Okay,
I was
so
gonna ask, is there a limit to what you can charge? Is there
you
company
can if you really wanted to, you could do 100%.
Oh, really?
So then they have to pay the delivery fee, and on top of that, they have to pay $20 because you say that's your convenience charge.
Huh.
And a lot of companies they do that.
And that is ethical to do
Is it ethical? Of course, because you're the customer, right? And you're saying, no, I'm not. I can't drive down to your shop and pick up the documents. So can you have it shipped to me? And they said yes, of course, but that's going to be additional. Exactly. So they could be like, well, okay, well we can charge you for a delivery fee, but obviously on our end we know how much we're charging, right? We know that we're gonna mark up the price at this much, right? We know how much we're paying our people, right? Yeah. All we can say to our customer is, hey, it's going to be $24. Is that okay for the delivery fee? And if they say okay without questioning it, then they agree to what you're claiming. Now obviously you don't want to charge a ridiculous amount. If you said just to send me a legal document, obviously that it's a legal document. You definitely want to be very careful with that. But in this case, it's probably just a document just to sign, right? Saying that they want a contract with you to do a photo shoot, whatever it is, whatever Academy Photography is doing. And that's why they have a document delivery fee. And in this case, I can very well say, oh, because out of your convenience and our convenience, I can charge you $40. And if you say yes to it, then you have to pay it. But if you say no, I'll just send someone to go pick up the documents, then there you go. You save yourself $40. Now, of course, like to ship a document, is it really going to cost you $40 for that? No, not really. So I mean, as a customer, you can kind of think about it like saying, that's too much of a price that I cannot, pay on top of the $1,000 just for you to do a photo shoot for me. So in this case, it's reasonable that they charge you $4 convenience, but then again, in your end, you're only profiting $4 extra for taking the initiative to be able to provide the service for them. But yes, so in this case, we looked at an example of an expense that we had to pay ahead of time. And now we're billing our customer with a markup value saying, here is what the delivery charge was for, and this is how much I am charging for a convenience fee. Okay, save and close. All right. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the next section here. Now, the next section is going to be how to, let me see, I think the next section is how to toggle time. Is that correct? Let me see. So we just did this example right here. Where are my headings? We just charged the invoice. Here it is. Okay. And now we have already another thing that we have to do. Okay. So in this case, it's going to be ask your accountant if you should treat reimbursements as income before making this decision and change. Okay, so we're just basically confirming that when we're dealing with time and billable expenses, this is how you turn them on. Okay, so you need to turn them on. It's the same thing. You just go to edit preferences and go to time and billing, and you should be able to toggle it through the company preferences. Okay, so down here, right, when invoicing. Okay, do you want to track reimbursable expenses as income? Okay. And in this case, I think mine's automatically done, but I'm going to go ahead and confirm just to make sure that that is okay. So edit preferences, and we're going to go to time and expenses, and we're going to company preferences, and we're going to ensure that we have keep track of reimbursable expenses as income. So we do already have it already selected for us. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. So the next activity here is we're going to be looking at, I'm going to skip this part. Okay, here we're going to be looking at, I'm going to have you guys just read this part. Because this part, I mean, there's no real activity. It's just, just turning it on and making sure that you track your reimbursable things. And that's about it as far as invoicing. So you guys can go ahead and read this, and this is where you can use the income account. But I'm going to have to skip that one because I want to kind of go into dealing with two-sided items. Okay. So two-sided items. Okay, sorry, I forgot. We're on page 268. 268. All right. So we're going to be looking at how to use two-sided items. Now, this is very important-ish, I guess, on how to use two-sided items. So again, when you're using two-sided items, it's basically going to be taking one specific item, and it's going to allow it to be able to toggle between two or more accounts. Now, an example that we looked at for a two-sided item was us selling our inventory part. It allowed us to tap into our cost of goods sold account, our sales account, and our inventory asset account. In this case, the two-sided items is just going to be for two or more accounts that you're toggling on for. So in this case, there are 3 different categories that can fall under when you're using the two-sided items, right? You got the first one, which is for reimbursable expenses. So again, we just looked at one, right? We looked at charging for other clients, right? In this case, you can create an item and be able to apply it for an expense and whatever the other second account is going to be. Which is, I mean, it's not very as common to use a reimbursable expense item. The more common ones you would see is if we are custom ordering a product for a customer. That is definitely something that you're definitely going to be looking at, especially if you're dealing with your customers, right? What if they come to your shop and say, hey, do you guys sell this kind of item? And you say, yes, I do, but you currently don't have it available because it's based on, it's based on first come, first serve, or whoever orders it, right? So then now the customer is going to say, okay, I'd like to order this part. And because they're going through you to be able to purchase that item, this is where we can purchase this custom ordered item for them. Okay. And the second one is when you're using contractors. Of course, contracting labor, right? It's definitely one of those expenses that you can create a two-sided item so then they can get a job done, and the second one is you're going to charge them as an expense. Okay, so these two are more common than the actual reimbursable expenses. So let's go ahead and dive into the first example here. So we're going to go ahead and track our custom orders. So in this case, we're going to go to our items list and we're going to create a new item, and it's going to be the camera, the, shoot, what was the camera called? The camera is called custom camera. Oh, what's the name of it? It's just called custom camera. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I thought I'm thinking of a camera, the S or S something. It's a specific camera that you can order through Academy Photography, but in this case, it's just called custom camera. So in this case, we're going to create an item, it's going to be choose non-inventory part. Okay, so this is an item that we don't really care for to keep track of. All we care about is making this purchase for a specific customer. And in this case, I think, let's see, who are we making this? Actually, we haven't done that part yet, but let's go ahead and create this item. And how much is it going to cost our item? We don't have a cost yet, and we don't have a selling price, but we can go ahead and determine that later on. And it's going to be dealing with two accounts. We have a cost of goods sold, and we're going to be dealing with a sales account. Okay, and it's going to be taxed. Okay, because we're selling an item. All right, so let's go ahead and create that item. So first off, where do you do that? How do you do that?
You go to lists
You can go to list, good.
and item list.
List, item list, good. Where else can you go?
You can go into the chart of accounts. I guess that'd be banking.
Chart of accounts is not going to be where your items are going to be.
But we had an item listed at the bottom of the chart of accounts where you could add an item.
Not at the bottom. Are you talking about the icon, or are you talking about the actual chart of the accounts?
I'm talking about the actual chart of accounts.
The actual chart of accounts, no. The chart of accounts is just strictly only your accounts.
Okay, well, right below that says
Yeah,
item.
it said items that's below it.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you the question. Are you talking about the actual chart of accounts? Because no, your chart of accounts is strictly your accounts only. But in this sense, at the bottom of your chart of accounts, yes, there's a little icon that says items and services. All right. And lastly, where's the last one that you can do? And this is the one that your book tells you.
Okay. Okay, go into the non-inventory parts.
How do you, well, first of all, you need to get to the item list or create a new
We're in
item.
the item list, yeah.
We're not in the item list. My question to you is what's the last way you can enter a new item?
Oh, another, okay.
Okay, we've already done that one, right? The
We've
list,
done-
the item
right.
list.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I got from the book.
Yeah,
Okay. Who are you dealing with when you are making purchases of inventory?
customers.
No vendors.
Your vendors.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, so if I go to my vendors,
Oh, item list on the bottom.
Oh, sure is.
yes, item list right here.
Right.
Okay, good. So now we're at our item list and we're going to create a new item. Right? And in this case, they say it's going to be a non-inventory part because this is an item that we don't really keep track of, right? We're not really keeping track of it because it's not a daily item that we sell. This is a custom product that we're selling for this item. So in this case, we don't really care too much to keep track of it. So that's why it's a non-inventory item. So because it's going to be called custom camera, we're going to go ahead and select this little button right here that says this item is used as an assembly. Okay. And once we've done that, it's going to populate one more section below it. And now it becomes a two-sided item by us just toggling that it's an assembly item. Now in this case, the description is going to be custom camera. All right. We have no cost. We have no cost associated with it. But what account are we going to be using to record the cost?
Expense account,
Which one?
50000.
Which is what?
Cost of goods sold, yeah.
There you go. Cost of goods sold. And then lastly, we're looking at our sales price. Now, because we can't determine what the sales price is because we're making a custom camera. We're ordering this for our customer. So we can mark up the value and change the selling price. So we don't need to locate it. We don't need to report it here. We can record our sale price when we go ahead and bill our customer. So here, the sales tax, of course, because we're going to sell a camera to the customer, so you have to charge sales tax. And what account am I going to associate with this sales?
For the sales tax?
No, not for the sales tax, for just the overall sale.
I guess sale.
Yep, sales. Okay. And I believe that is all it. And we're going to click OK. So here we have the item for custom camera. So let's go ahead and, let's go back to my item. Okay. Who is my preferred vendor that I'm buying this camera from? I believe it's going to be Ace Supply. This is a piece of information that can be pertinent to you. Maybe it is a preferred vendor of your choice, but you don't need to fill this out if you're going to go to a different vendor. Okay. In this case, I'm going to go to Ace Supply to go ahead and purchase that camera. So let's go ahead and go back to the home page and let's see what happens next. So now we got to go make a purchase order, correct? For that specific part. So let's go ahead and make a purchase order. How do you make a purchase order?
Well, there's a purchase order. That's the first on the home page.
Okay, good. Purchase order on the homepage. Where else can you do? I'm gonna have you list all of it.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Can we get there from? No. Wait a minute. Okay, that's the home page.
Correct.
Let's see the home page here. Okay.
I wonder if we could do it from the menu.
Okay.
somewhere.
On the menu bar.
Yeah.
Where? Which one?
I don't know.
Where is this purchase under?
Vendors.
Vendors. Good.
Okay.
Do you see purchase orders?
Create purchase orders.
Good. That's number 2. All right. Where else can you make purchase orders?
Let's see. Can you get there from the icon?
Okay, the icon. Where does the icon take you?
I don't know. Can you scroll down?
I'm scrolling down right now.
Okay. No, I don't see it there.
Okay, but where?
Oh,
Okay,
there's vendors right there.
good, good, good.
Yeah,
So if I
there's
go,
the icon bar
so if I
too.
go on the icon bar, it takes me to the vendor center. All right, and then where can I go from there?
Okay, you can go to the Ace Supply,
Good,
because that's who we're buying it from,
correct.
okay?
What do we do from there?
Oh, okay, you're on there already, and then, let's see, there are no, well, where do you put,
Yeah, I'm looking
oh,
under the
manage
favorite
transactions.
purchases.
on the
Man,
bottom.
okay, good. Manage transactions.
Okay, then purchase orders,
Okay, good. That's one way,
okay.
or that's another way. Where else can you go?
Okay, let's see, we did the menu bar, we did the icon bar, we did the homepage,
Uh huh.
and there's one more?
Two more.
Oh, two more.
Two
Mhm.
more?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, well, you're staying
Can we
there,
go-
so maybe it's from there.
No,
To
it's
there.
no, it's not from here. No,
Could you go back to the main page for a second?
the homepage.
The home page, yes. Let's see, so we got purchase orders.
How about inventory activities? No.
No, inventory activities only allows you to do two things: to either
Oh.
change the value of your inventory or learn more about inventory.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it's not there.
I'm gonna take you guys back into the vendor center.
Okay.
All right, because that's where the other two transactions are going to be.
Oh, okay. All right, then from there, there's managed transactions.
We already covered that one.
Okay. And we went into a supplies and we saw that we could do it from
Yeah.
there. So
Got
we could
that
do it from
up.
there, right?
You need to select the vendor first before you can manage transactions. You can't just go to any person
Oh, right, yeah, yeah.
and click manage transactions because now you're selecting someone else to manage their transactions. So for a supply, you need to select them first in order to go ahead and select your purchase orders.
Because we did that, right.
I
right.
thought
Okay.
we already did that.
We
Yeah.
did
did
do
that
that.
one.
I know. I'm explaining to Andrea.
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
no, I knew you'd have to go into whoever it was you were gonna,
Okay.
do the
Where
purchase orders for.
where else, guys?
Let's see.
Look around. What's at the top of the window?
Transactions? No, not transactions.
Okay, new transaction?
New transactions.
Purchase
Oh,
order,
there.
right
You
there.
could there's
Right
that
there.
one, right? Yes. And then what's the last one? You guys both got this one wrong.
Transactions.
It's the
Okay,
most
right click.
right click. Yes.
Oh, that right click, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You can right click on
Oh, right
anybody, but in
Go
this
down.
case it makes sense to just right click the vendor that you want to do this
Yeah,
for.
right.
Right click in here, create purchase orders. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, you need to know all the ways. Okay,
Right.
so here because I right clicked on that specific vendor, it's their name would populate right here immediately. So in this case, I go to class. Class is what? Is it Walnut Creek?
I
think
think that's
so.
Walnut Creek, yeah.
Walnut Creek. Yes, it is. Okay, and in this case, the date here, I'm going to change it to a couple days later. So I'm going to say maybe this purchase happened on the 10th of, actually no, let's change that. I want to receive it. No, that's good. So if I purchase it on the 10th, right, here is my PO. I'm going to make sure I write 2021. Just so then I can keep a good track of my inventory. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Has to do that now. Okay, so again, all the stuff is going to be placed in for me. I don't need to do anything. Okay. And then now I'm going to go ahead and place my item here. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and make the purchase of the custom camera. Now, because I did not set a cost for it, it can depending on which camera I'm actually purchasing, since my custom camera is pretty vague. So in this case, the invoice here, or the my purchase order I'm trying to look at, is going to be $398. Okay, $398. And in this case, let me see, $398. And I want to make sure that I put custom camera. Okay, so here, quantity is going to be 1, and it's going to be for a total price of $398, right? And then here it says you have changed, yes, and you're gonna go ahead and click do not display this message again, because remember, when we first entered in the item, right, we didn't put a cost in there, we left it blank. Now that we're making a change in it, now it's saying, it gave us a little error message saying that.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, is there a customer that we are buying this for somebody specifically?
Cruz Maria branch opening?
The, Miranda's Corner is who we're
Hold
buying
on.
that for, right? No, wait a minute, that's way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's look at our purchase order. Okay.
Yeah, I can't, okay. Read this.
Select the customer job, okay.
Maria Cruz.
Let me see. So here, enter custom camera. Order number 2019 is 101, which we can ignore because I'm changing it to 2020. All right, in the memo field, okay, choose no when asking to update the custom camera item. And it just says save and record. Right on, let me see. Tip, okay. Then it says click save and close to record the purchase order. Okay.
We're just purchasing at this point.
Right, but okay, so we're just creating the purchase order for now, okay? You're right. So let's go ahead and verify this purchase order that we're purchasing it from A Supply for the custom camera. One for the price of $398 even. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and verify this, and I'm gonna go ahead and click on save and close. Okay. Now let's say we receive the camera and the bill has arrived. Okay, so that's the next step here. We're going to enter the bills icon. Okay, so choose the enter bills icon on the vendor's. Okay, blah blah blah. We're going to choose A Supply. Okay, and then okay. Let's see. Select PO 2019-101. Buy the plan purchase. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and enter the bill in for Mr. A Supply. All right. So what are the ways that you can enter in a bill?
From the home page, the next step in the flow, from purchase order. Okay, home page.
My home page looks weird.
It's not a home page.
Let me me see. Go to home page. What is wrong with my icon bar? Provided checking. Okay. What is wrong with my icon bar? It's not looking like it's supposed to be. Did I press these? Let me go. Let me type in homepage because what is wrong with my icon bar? All right, let me see if I can just close all my windows and get to the icon bar that way. I mean, get to the home page that way because I didn't actually save my. There's
Oh,
my
there's
home
your
page.
homepage.
There it is,
Yeah, but my icon bar looks weird. I don't know what I did.
Okay, so there,
Paying
we
bills, right?
did the purchase order, we received the inventory.
Okay, in this case, they just want us to enter in a bill.
Okay, then go on to the next one, enter bills.
Good. Where else can you go to enter in a bill?
Vendors,
Vendors
vendors,
on. Okay, good.
Enter bills, right?
enter bills.
Good. If I go to the vendor center, which I was previously,
Huh?
how else can I enter a bill?
You can go, you can choose your vendor and go into the vendor.
There, and then manage transactions,
Good.
and then, bills.
Mm-hmm. And then,
Let's see, yeah, I already did the home page. Vendor. See, I went to vendor. Okay.
We're not finished with this one.
no, we're not.
Okay, so manage transactions,
You already did the bottom managed transactions. We've already done that.
okay? And, where is bills? Where is,
Under managed transactions,
We did that. didn't
we already did this. Yep.
okay. Then why does it only show purchase order?
Because we didn't create the bill yet. That's what that's what I'm asking you guys to do right now.
Oh,
What are the ways to create a bill?
so going to manage transactions, go with the bill.
Okay, that's what I'm asking you to explore all the ways.
Oh, okay, I thought you were looking for other ways.
Yeah, that's right. I'm looking for the other ways.
Yeah, okay, so click that.
Okay, where else can I go to enter in a bill?
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant, okay. Let's see.
The biggest one that you should automatically recognize is your new transactions at the top of your vendor's
Okay.
center. Always new transactions because that's the very first one that you should always recognize. Okay?
Okay,
So there-
then
mhm.
enter
Yeah,
bills.
enter bills right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
Wait, pay bills or enter bills?
We're entering a bill.
Okay.
Sorry, my
Creating
mouse.
one. Oh,
Yeah.
entering, okay.
All right. And then lastly, the shortcut, that's the easiest one, is to right click.
Right, always right click.
Yes, right click can get you far. So in this case,
Enter bills.
so now I'm going to be entering a bill. All right, I'm going to type in, I already, because I selected my specific vendor, it automatically filled in for me that my, my person that I'm going to be doing is going to be a supply. Now, if I click away, okay, it's not working. All right, so I guess I have to type it in. So if I were to type it in a supply, a window's going to pop up saying, hey, you have a purchase order in relations to this vendor. Would you like to be billed for it? And you're going to go ahead and click yes. You're going to select this purchase order and you're going to click OK. Now all the information fills in automatically for you. Here you got the custom camera and it's going to charge you here for the $398 even. I'm going to make sure that I actually make sure that I toggle my date to reflect that I received it a week later. All right. And my reference number is going to be PO 2021, right? For $398. Now, this is where I'm going to indicate here who is this going to be billable for. Now let's go ahead and explore. Now let's see, who are we billing this to? We are billing this to
Maria Cruz.
Maria Cruz. Okay. Maria Cruz branch opening. All right. And we're going to make it billable. Okay. So we are buying this camera for Maria Cruz. So in this case, I'm going to indicate it here that I'm making this custom job for Maria Cruz branch. All right. And it's billable. We checked mark that it's billable and it's Walnut Creek. So here we are getting charged $398, correct? And then in my memo is going to be custom camera for Maria Cruz branch opening. All right. All right. So here I made sure that I indicated that the bill was on the that we received on the 17th. Here's all the information, right? And they said that if we pay them within 10 days, then we get an extra 2% discount. But in this case, we're not worried too much about it because in the end, Maria is going to be paying for this specific camera. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Close. Now, that's us receiving a bill from a supply for the custom camera, and we made it billable to Maria. Now, the next step here is now we're going to charge Maria for buying the custom camera. So here, I'm going to go ahead and save some time here. I'm going to go ahead and create an invoice. And this time, we're going to type in Maria Cruz and branch opening. Okay, boom, right here, we're going to get this notification saying we have a billable item that is going to be charged, that is going to be here. Okay, in this case, it's an actual item. We're going to go ahead and select it, but this is going to give us the opportunity, well, are we going to charge the item at this rate? Okay, so let's go ahead and confirm with our book that we are going to charge Miss Maria. Okay, so here we are going to add the custom camera under items, okay, for the $398. Okay, now we get to mark up this value because again, she went through us to purchase this item, and now we are billing her for this item. Now, what you can do here is you can actually create a markup item. In this case, it says here that we can just multiply it to charge her 20% markup rate. So instead of telling her that, hey, we are charging you, instead of telling her that we are charging her for this specific item and we're having her charge an extra fee, we're going to hide it from her. Okay? We're going to say, hey, so here's the PO number. No, we don't need this. And let's say because we received the bill on the 17th, let's go ahead and say her photo shoot was on the 19th. Okay, so we delivered it to her on the 19th, took her photo shoot, whatever, right? So in this case, we're going to hide the fact that we're going to give her an additional charge markup value, right? In this case, the book says we're going to charge her additional 40%. So here we're going to go ahead. So here is 398. I'm going to go ahead and multiply that. So here's my little receipt. I'm going to multiply that by 1.2%, which means it's going to be the price plus an additional 20%. And I'm going to go ahead and press tab. Now, once I do that, it automatically included the full amount for I believe it was how many dollars is that? Well, anyways, it marked it up 20%. It added an additional 20% to the original price that she purchased it, to the original price that we purchased it for, right? Because ultimately, exactly, because they're buying it through us, we have the right to sell it at a higher price to make a profit. But in this case, we want to mark it 20% because this is a camera that we're buying for her specifically. So in this case, I'm charging an extra additional 20%. And now my total is $477. All right, which is exactly what should be here. And because it's taxed, it's going to be a whopping $517, which in this does reflect. It does reflect right here. Okay, and then we're going to also include thank you for your business. And then we're also going to write in this memo that this is a custom camera for Maria Cruz. Okay, so here we've gathered all of our information. We're going to bill her now. She was a Walnut Creek customer. So all of this, now we have the invoice right here for 2019-107. I'm going to change that to 2/20-107, right? And we changed the date because it was 2 days later, making sure that everything is in place, okay? We marked up the value to be 20%. We're charging her tax, and it's for $517. Okay? And we can go ahead and click Save and Close. So that is a perfect example of we don't have to display, we don't have to add a line item to create a specific account to mark up the item, right? Because ultimately we don't want our customers to let them know that we're charging them an additional 20% because we can, right? We kind of want to keep that under wraps, right? Saying, okay, so they just purchased a custom camera. I told them it's rough. I'll give them a quote. It's roughly $400, right? Or I could say it's roughly $450. Okay, including shipping and tax and whatever. I can lie to them, right? Because they don't know that I'm gonna mark up their value by 20%. And if Cruz Maria agrees to it, then they agree to it and we can proceed. And I've already made the custom edition. Okay, I've made the custom order for this specific person. Okay, and that was exactly how I got to change the price value of it and charged $517 when it only originally cost me $398. So I charged them additional $79 for Cruz Maria to have to pay additional on top of what that camera originally cost me. All right, and I did that by manually calculating it in there, by doing our manual calculations. I just typed in the multiplication sign and I multiplied by 1.2. All right. And that's how the book tells you to do it as well. All right. So that is how you deal with custom jobs or custom orders for specific parts. In the next section here, we're going to be looking at how we can use service items to track our subcontracted labor. So in this sense, we're going to be looking at creating, okay, hold on. It says right here, East Bay Photography, right? The items already set up for you, so we don't need to have to create another item. But in this case, open up the items list and double click on the photographer item, okay? And this will open up this, okay? And here. So in this case, we already have a preset item for the next one that we're going to be looking at. So item, and we're going to go to photographer. Photo paper.
It's towards the top.
Towards the top. Thank you. Photographer. Photographer. Right here. Right? Photographer. If I double click it, I can edit it, the information. So in this case, it's asking me to go ahead and select a preferred vendor. And in this case, it is going to be for, where is my vendor? Okay, so here I'm at the items and I'm going to make sure that it's going to be for $75 and I'm going to charge $125 for having this photographer. Wow, that's a lot of money. Okay, so we're going to confirm that $75 and it's going to be for the subcontractor expense. And then this one, it's going to be priced for $125 for obviously service, and it's going to be for services. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and see what happens next. So now it says, notice the box entered this as service is used for this assembly item. So again, because a photographer, right? You don't charge them based on a product. It's a service. So yes, it's just asking to verify all the following and then click OK. Then we're going to be entering another bill. And this time we're going to be entering a bill for East Bay Photographer. So, okay, so here's our item. We verified that this is exactly what it is, but what the purpose of this is just to make sure that you understand this is a different type of double two-sided item, right? This one is geared towards a service, or actually it's actually geared towards a subcontracted expense. So I'm gonna go ahead and click OK. And I'm gonna go ahead and click out from here. So it says now to enter in a bill. So I just took entered the bill on the homepage, and I'm gonna go ahead and type in East Bay Photography or photographers. Okay, it filled out all the information for you automatically. Now, you can choose either expense or item, and in this case, we are going to be billing them for the photographer. Okay, so we're gonna select the items tab to complete, and we're going to enter in photographer. So let's go ahead and verify that this is what we're going to be having in as far as our and we're going to do it for Cruz Maria again for the branch opening. So we have 2 photographers. Okay. One for, oh my God, is that 6 hours, and one for 15 hours?
Oh,
I
okay.
can't-
I can't, yeah, hold on, let me see.
Quantity 6 for,
Cruz Maria.
6 for the first one and 15 for the second one.
Right. So here, we're going to go ahead and type in our item, which is, make sure we're under items, okay? And we're going to go ahead and type in photographer, okay? So here's photographer for the first one, and we're going to also type in another photographer for the second one, okay? So in this case, it's based on hours, so they want 4 hours here, and they want 15 hours here.
Oh, the first one was 6.
Sorry,
Yeah,
6.
6 hours,
6 hours for the first one, and then 15 for the second one. And then who is this job for? And we already established that this one's going to be for Cruz Maria, and it's going to be for her branch opening. Now, let's see what the second one is for.
Mason, Bob Mason.
Bob Mason's going to also, so here we're charging just one bill for both things. So here we got for Bob Mason. Okay, again, they're billable. And then the classes, are they both Walnut Creek?
No, the top one is Walnut Creek, and the other one is San Jose.
Okay, so Bob Mason wants to do a San Jose location. All right. So, and then our memo here is going to be,
It's my memo. Oh, I can't see that.
nothing. There's no memo here, okay?
Yeah, there's no memo. Yeah.
All right, so now that we filled this in piece of information, we can go ahead and, let's see, click items, tab, figure. All right, click the items tab. Okay, we already did. Okay. Okay, so now it says click the far left column on the first item to select the photographer item. Okay, and then click OK. We've already completed this whole entire thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is us actually, okay, I see what we did. So now that we completed this complete bill, right, we're going to go ahead and click Save and Close.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now, the next portion that we're going to be doing is we're going to actually be charging Cruz Maria. Maria Cruz. Oh,
Well, isn't she?
she's a customer. Yes. So sorry, not a bill. We're going to go into an invoice. Thank you for that. So let me see if we're good on time. Okay. So here we're going to go ahead and charge Maria Cruz. Okay. Branch opening. Okay. Here is the pop-up window saying you have a billable item on here. And we're going to go ahead and select the items. And here we're going to go ahead and select this specific item. Now, by looking at this, it says a quantity of 6. And the rate is $125. So this is your grand total. So we're good, since we have this billable expense or this item that we're charging Maria Cruz for, we're going to go ahead and click OK. And when that happens, is it's going to tell us that, well, this is how much we're going to charge her for.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So now that we've done that, we want to make sure the next portion is, are we actually going to be charging her for this $125? And in this case, I guess we are. We're not going to mark it up. It's just billable for that. So here it is a service. So in this case, we're just going to go ahead and leave it as is, because we're just making sure that this bill or the bill that we received, right? We're making sure that this person is going to be invoiced and to cover the bill that is currently paid for, or is so that they can pay themselves. They can pay us to pay that specific independent contractor, right? We paid East Bay photographer to come be our photographers. Okay? So there are our third party vendor. In this case, we're not going to charge anything, no additional markup fees or anything. But let's just say this happened on the 24th of August, and here 2021-08. And we're going to say thank you for your business. And we're going to say 6 hours of photographers. Or maybe that's 6 people. I have no idea. Maybe that could be 6 people. All right, 6, or maybe, yeah, 6 photographers makes sense.
Probably so, 60.
All right, and we're going to charge her this much tax. Actually, there is no tax because it's a service.
Right, service. Yeah.
So her bill is going to be for a flat fee of $750. Oh, and then I got to make sure she's a Walnut Creek person. All right, so here we're not going to charge anything extra because their service that we paid for them is going to cost us $75, but we already marked up the value at $125. So we're going to make a profit off of these photographers. Okay, so again, go ahead and click select and close. So that's how you charge and you make a bill, and you're going to use the customer/jobs to associate that specific expense for. So in this case, we created an item that because we have subcontractors, right? We have to pay them in order to get the job done. So we get billed for that job, but what we need to do now is we need to bill the client for having those 6 people, and we charge them based on how much we want to charge them, right? We charge them $125 when it really cost us $75. Okay, so in this case, I've already sent my invoice to Miss Maria Cruz for having those 6 photographers. So there we got to look at creating items, a 2-sided item, right? One that has either a cost to it, and then the other one is going to be in relations to a sale. So this is where we do this, and we got to take a look at us making a purchase order for a specific person. So for this case, they were all both Maria Cruz. We bought a customized camera, right? And because we personally bought this for her, we got to charge her an additional 20%. Okay? We got to charge her additional 20%. Now, in this case, we're looking at having subcontractors as one of the things that we're going to be looking as an expense, right? It's an expense that we had to pay for providing the service for Maria Cruz and for Bob Mason, right? We emphasize who gets billed for what person. So this is a way for you to also keep track of your bills as well as, okay, I created this job. This person belongs to this bill. This person went to there. This person went to there. So that's us looking at how we can use custom jobs for the 2-sided items. And we also got to look at how we can use a subcontractor to keep track of our bills and be able to, just to make sure that we pay everything off in full, but also make a profit. Okay? Any questions? So again, it's very confusing. Again, like I said, I don't personally like this chapter because again, if you notice, I've been struggling because there's some things I do remember and some things that I'm kind of iffy on because again, we don't really normally would look into this only if you're doing a custom job per se, or if you do have a subcontractor. Yes, those are the more common ones you would use. But for things that you're going to charge customers for like example, that delivery charge from the very beginning, I mean, I would just make sure that I get paid, that I pay my person, right? That I pay them the exact amount that I'm going to be receiving. So we're going to go ahead and stop here and take a quick 20-minute break since it's 3 o'clock. So I like for you guys to have to go ahead and take a break, and we'll stop here. And then